Running your own business can be lonely, finding reliable professionals difficult, and generating new business challenging, but not when you have a business network. NewGen Networking provides its members with new and exciting business opportunities, with the chance to build lasting relationships with vetted businesses who can act as your sales team and solve the issue of who to turn to in your hour of need. With a range of flexible and affordable solutions, NewGen apply tried and tested principles in a modern way to suit today's world. To find the right option for your business, visit newgen-networking.com or call 03333 600 680. NewGen Networking. New business, new contacts, a new generation of networking. You're listening to the NewGen podcast exclusively on the Pod Station. Here is an interview with one of our members from the Vinci Hub.
Basically every week, we've been doing it on Zoom, but just an interview, so it's a business spotlight, but rather than someone just standing up and doing a presentation, just talking themselves, we just have a little interview. So I'll ask a few questions of Charlotte this week, so that's basically what it is. Might not answer them. But obviously it gets recorded as well, so then it goes onto all our media platforms, does it not? Are we ready to go? Glasses on? So I can see my questions? Right, because this is our first live. I can't look at you, can I? I've been told to just look at the mic. So this is the first one in front of our live studio audience. It's normally on the Zoom in the past. And it's Charlotte this week, so welcome.
Hi, John.
I have to stop clicking your
Sorry.
pen.
Take that off me. Right, so firstly, just a little bit of background. How long you've had Cadagio, and the most important question, where did you get the name from?
Okay, so I set up Cadagio 8 years ago. I'd worked for various companies in the HR and the recruitment capacity and identified a gap in the market for small and medium businesses that didn't necessarily need a full-time HR department or full-time HR support, but needed that flexibility to have that structure in place and also be able to work with advice and support, processes, policies without that cost of a full-time salary. So the business model I came up with was to keep it varied, keep it flexible and work with businesses and move the model and change the model as the business developed and changed and moved with the business, rather than it being structured and just a one-size-fits-all. When we decided I was going to set the business up, we couldn't think of a name, so we decided to get a dictionary and start with the letter A and look down the dictionary and find a word that wasn't relevant to anything. We were sat in the conservatory with a glass of wine doing this, by the way.
It's becoming clearer.
Yes. Adagio is what we came up with, which is a piece of music played softly and gracefully, and then we decided to just put my initial in front of it, and that's how we got Cadagio.
Right, okay. So it's not Latin for HR?
No,
right.
completely irrelevant.
So we know as well that you tell us most weeks about the exotic locations you get to around the country. So can you just explain a little bit? I know you do travel around a little bit, but you're covering your services and what you do and what you offer clients.
Yeah. So I offer varied retained monthly packages, and that could be a few days a month, it could be 1 day a month, a few hours a week, a few hours a month, and it's tailored to what individual businesses need. Some of them are further afield, most of them are local, and it tends to be Wirral, Merseyside, northwest. There is a company in Mansfield that I work with, and I spend 4 days a month with them on site and work with them remotely for the rest of the month. That came from a friend's wedding where we were introduced to the directors that were setting up a business. So that's where that came from. It's a little bit of an anomaly compared to the other companies because they're mostly local. Blackpool was a referral from Dave. So I spend a few days there a month and again support them remotely for the rest of the month. I support Dave monthly, and it varies, so it's different days a month, different hours, and that can be covering everything from disciplinaries, grievances, performance management, audits on the employee files to make sure from a compliance point of view we've got the right information, dealing with one-to-ones, training the managers, anything that they need, but they tend to be quite busy days when we're out and about on site because there's lots to get through, but it just makes sure that they're current and they're compliant and they're not breaking any legislation, and also from an employee point of view the engagement's there and the employees are doing what they should be doing. Other companies I work with just want to know that they can pick up the phone or send me an email and sense check. So there's a number of companies I work with that sit in the background and just deal with them remotely on email and phone support. And then there's other companies, procurement, charities. So it's a bit of a mixed bag.
A varied week. Right. So the recruitment side of your business, do you still involved with recruitment, or how does that work?
The recruitment side is more strategic recruitment as opposed to your day-to-day recruitment agency. It's more helping businesses with putting their processes in place, their job descriptions, making sure they've got the right interview questions, that whole process is mapped out so that it runs efficiently, and then supporting with interviews, speaking to the candidates, taking them through that process right through to the higher stage. I can look for candidates, I can recruit as a agency, but I tend to work more on the strategic side on the recruitment.
So you'll potentially do the interview for the client. So what's an ideal referral? How can people hear today sort of?
Ideal referrals for me are people who haven't got HR support in place and need to put something in place to safeguard their business, or people, as I mentioned earlier, that have got processes and policies in place but need them reviewing just to make sure that they're compliant.
Right. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for Charlotte?
Can I just say that I first met Charlotte about 2 years ago, and I think we'd just opened our second shop at the time, and she said it might be an idea to have a discussion about staff. And I said at the time, oh, we're quite all right, we don't have anything that goes wrong with staff. And I'm sure I still like looked with me what's happening, because from there on in, things start to go wrong within our shops. But we brought Charlotte in originally on a monthly retainer to give advice and support, which was good for sort of 4, 5, 6, 7 staff. But quickly as we grew, I think we got about 22 staff now. As we grew, that need sort of got more and more. And Charlotte now is an absolute integral part of our business. So almost, although she's contracted into the business, I think most of our staff see her as an integral part of Perfect Getaways, and sort of a voice for them, not just for us from a HR point of view, but a voice for them to be able to go to as well, which I think is really, really important in this day and age. So, she's really, really important to our business and the way that it's grown, so we're really thankful to her. That's why we put it out to other companies with referrals as well.
Very well done. Give her a round of applause.
If you would like to visit one of our online or face-to-face hubs, visit NewGen-networking.com and book a place. Get social at Network NewGen on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn.